It's a sale price of $60 off of TomTom's most advanced, most feature-rich, and user-friendly GPS system. It is hands-free everything. You literally don't even have to touch this thing for it to be able to guide you to where you're going. It will automatically either tell you, or it will answer your phone calls. It will answer and read your texts to you. So there is nothing about you or your kids or your parents that will be distracting when you're behind the wheel of a car. I think it's the most important responsibility we have. And these days it's so easy to be distracted with all the things on our mind and the fears and the worries. So this is an amazing item, a GPS that requires no computer ever, but will always give you updated maps for lifetime of owning this. I don't know about where you live, but where I live, it is like construction time, like crazy, and has been for months. So oftentimes when something is detoured or something is being constructed or rebuilt, you don't know which direction to go, and especially if you're in a newer area. If you're gonna travel, we're driving more than we ever have before. This will give you those updates on construction zones, detours, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about points of interest, getting you to know your area even better. But let's get to it with Tara Quellhorst, who is joining us on Skype to go through it. Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
You too, you too. You've been having a blast with this, I know. Didn't you say you have a brand new, or a little girl?
I have a little boy. Yeah,
he's
4. Yeah, and one of the reasons I like this is because it makes me a much safer driver. I own my own business. I multitask. I'm a mom to a 4-year-old. So just getting in the car, and Kelly, you and I were talking about this. Just getting in the car sometimes is an entire production, right? I'm trying to get his music on the Spotify, give him his juice or his Kindle, and then I'm trying to find my sunglasses and put my lip gloss on, and all of that is before we even started out of the driveway. And then I'm always like, oh, where are we going? On my phone, right? But here's the thing. Me personally, I'll just admit it. If I'm using my phone as my GPS navigator, I'm also looking at my text messages, and I'm also seeing those emails come in, and it's very distracting. And distracting driving is horrible, right? So this makes it so easy for me, because not only does it plan my trip, can I plan my trips ahead of time, and we can talk about that. Not only does it start going as soon as I clicked my belt, it also, look at that, right on cue, also calls me, it does hands-free phone call and text messaging. So I don't have to even pick up my phone in the car ever when I have a phone call coming in or a text message coming in.
So I have one question too, as we go through this, because you can see right here, it says Go 52 with Wi-Fi. So when I say you don't need a computer to get any map updates, you literally don't. You can just be in a hotspot area. You could be inside of your house. If you've got Wi-Fi, you can get the updates automatically and never spend a dime on future updates.
So one of the biggest complaints that people have with navigation systems like this is having to bring them in and plug them into their computer so they update. No more. You don't have to do that with TomTom. It is Wi-Fi capable. This will update. If you want it to update every night, it will. You just have to have it on with Wi-Fi. And there's about an hour and a half of battery life when you're updating. Now, don't leave it out of your mind when you're in the car, because it's plugged into the cigarette lighter, right? So you don't even have to worry about battery life in the car. It's always plugged in. But when you're updating, you bring it in. You can even plan trips on it inside the house before you leave, and put it right back on your car when you get in the car, and you're good to go.
You know what else I love about this is that you can take it with you. You can take it out of your car. If you have to get a rental car, if you're traveling somewhere, you can take this and it will give you the directions, point by point directions from point A to point B and beyond. There is nothing more stressful than getting lost. Nothing.
Oh, nothing more stressful. There's so much we're doing right now. We're so busy, and the last thing you need is to not know where you're going. But not only is it going to give you directions, it's going to tell you where the speed traps are, whether they're like radar guns in a cop car or actual speed traps. It's going to tell you how long it takes. It's going to put you on traffic. So one of the things I do like about it is that I can plan my trip in advance, because it pairs with an app on my phone, and which also pairs online with a website. I can plan my trip in advance, and I can look and see where the accidents are, and I can decide to take another route. It actually will reroute it for me if I ask it to.
So what we do is
Sorry.
this is something that some of us are like, well, I don't know, I'm sure my phone is gonna give me, good enough directions. The phones don't give us the updates that
No.
this does, because I think winter time is where a lot of parts of the country go through the disastrous experience of rebuilding roads and rerouting,
Right.
traffic. And that gets so harrowing. I mean, really, when there's traffic around you. And I think about this especially for me, I think about this for if my mom were still here with me, I would definitely want her to have something like this, because it's right here. She doesn't even have to take her eyes off of the road to even look down at it, because it tells you when to turn in 500 feet, take a left or get into the left-hand lane before you merge and then get onto the end. It literally is like somebody holding your hand and getting you. Driving is stressful, not only for everybody in this time of our lives, such a weird year, but with winter, with winter coming, it's a very stressful time.
And it's also voice activated. So it's going to work with any of your smartphone assistants, the Siri and the Google, but also it's voice activated itself. So I can say, hello, TomTom. Oh, it's not going to work because we're live on air. Isn't that always the case? Hello, TomTom. Oh, goodness, look at that. Okay, it is voice activated. I don't know why it's not working, but it's voice activated, and you can say stuff like, find gas station near me, and it will give you, here, let's try it. Oh, you know what? I muted myself because we're on.
That'll do it.
That'll do it, right?
I'm listening.
Okay, you hear it say, I'm listening? Gas station near me.
Sorry,
Whoops.
I don't understand. Please say that again.
Gas station near me.
Say the list number of the gas station near you.
2.
Number 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Finding the fastest route.
And that's it. And
I
then
love
you
that.
hit let's go.
Seriously.
That's it. And you're on. Yeah, easy peasy.
It's for me, it's like, it's just fun to get to know an area. Maybe you've lived there forever, but you've never gotten to the east side of the city, and you just kind of want to explore. These days, I find that anything that adds comfort. Some days, Tracy and I will just get in the car and just take a drive, just to get some fresh air and get out of the house, but not be anywhere that is, that we shouldn't be, with socially distancing and everything like that. So something like this, there's just loads and loads of features. At this point, we have less than 200 left. 214, but a lot of people on the phones ordering as we speak. So it is truly a super, super limited opportunity. We do have people on hold. I don't know if everybody's ordering one thing or another. I'm just letting you know it is so limited. We're counting backwards. It's TomTom. This is one of the biggest names in the industry when it comes to point-by-point navigation, with millions of points of interest, from, city attractions to, of course, restaurants, and then the list of different cuisines, and to gas stations, to banks, to all the things that you want to find and explore. Maybe you're gonna do some exploring, but get there safely. If you find yourself stressed because you're a little bit lost, you're gonna take another right, and then you're gonna probably speed up, and then before you know it, you're gonna see a behind you because you're going too fast, and oh boy, does that change a day in a hurry. So TomTom, with, I think, as we talked about before the show, Tara, it's just a very feature-rich, but super easy, hands-free, friendly way to, get that guidance from where you're going, and then get you back home safely as well. I think about younger drivers. I remember when my son got his license at the age of 16, I was like so freaked out. The last thing I wanted was to him be depending on a phone that doesn't automate, it doesn't give you the point-by-point verbal directions like the GPS does.
Right, that's exactly right. And another feature that I like is, let's say we're taking...
Arrive at your destination at 7:36 p.m.
Let's say, thank you. Let's say we're going to Miami here. I'm going to hold it like this because you're opposite of me. It'll show you, I don't know if you can see it here, but it'll show you if there's any traffic jams. And then you just pop on that little icon, you just touch it. And if also what happened here is, and then it'll give you the option to avoid that all the time. And so what they've done here is they've made a product that takes the least amount of touches possible. You can speak to it. It'll tell you your text messages.
Yep.
It'll be your phone for
That's
you.
what I love the best. It will answer your phone calls. It will talk to your texts to you. You don't have to even look over. That is the most dangerous thing of all. Talking and texting or driving and texting makes me crazy. If I see somebody, I'm like, oh, stop it. Focus on the road.
It's downloaded. Kelly, it's downloaded all of your contacts. So if you go to your Uncle Joe's often, Alicia's, you just say, go to Uncle Joe's, go to Alicia. It's so smart.
That's so awesome. Tara, our time is up. Thank you so much for joining us. Look at this. We're counting on a countdown to a sellout on the TomTom. 742538. And don't forget about that Sienna Luna. If you want to really deep clean your home and never have to spend any more money on